The phone rang at 7:14 p.m. I knew it was her before I picked up. Same ringtone I set for her 10 years ago. Same knot in my stomach. Same pause on her end before she said anything. Dad, I need you to listen. I heard her voice crack. That was new. She never cracked. She always had a script. Rent's due. Car broke down. Medical bill. She'd read it off like a grocery list and I'd say okay and she'd say love you and hang up. I'm in trouble, she said. Real trouble. I sat down on the edge of my bed. The springs groaned. I'd been sitting on that same spot for 12 years since my wife passed. Same mattress. Same sheets. Same hole in the wall from when I threw a boot at it after the funeral. What kind of trouble, Jen? Dad, I need you to come to Phoenix. Tonight. I can't explain over the phone. Just please. Please come. She never said please. Never. Not once in 3 years. She said, can you send, and, I hate to ask, and, you're the only one I can count on. But please was a word she saved for other people. I'm on my way, I said. She hung up. No love you. No thank you. Just the click and the dial tone. I sat there for a long moment. Something felt off. Something more than the usual off. I drove through the night. 400 miles on I-40 with nothing but the headlights and the white line and the sound of my own breathing. My hands hurt from gripping the wheel. My back ached. I stopped at a truck stop outside Flagstaff to get coffee and I caught my reflection in the window. Gray hair. Gray stubble. Eyes that looked tired. I looked old. I felt older. She gave me an address on the phone. Industrial part of Phoenix. I pulled up at 2 a.m. The building was a warehouse with a faded sign that said something in Spanish. No lights. No cars. I walked up to the door and it was unlocked. Inside was empty. Concrete floor. Dust. A single bulb hanging from the ceiling. And there she was, sitting on a wooden crate in the middle of the floor. She was wearing jeans and a jacket. No makeup. No jewelry. Her face was pale. Dad. Jen. She stood up. She looked at me and for a second she was 12 years old again, the girl who used to sit on my lap while I read her stories. Then she blinked and the moment was gone. I didn't know where else to go. She said, what's going on? She pulled out her phone. She scrolled to something and handed it to me. A text message from an unknown number. It said, we know where he works. We know where he lives. You have 1 week. I looked at her. Who sent this? Marco, she said. My husband. I didn't react. I'd known about Marco for 8 months. I knew about the bar. I knew about the house. I knew she'd been lying to me about everything. I'd already made peace with that. But I never told her I knew that. You're married, I said. I said it flat. No surprise. No anger. She looked at me. I watched her face change. She knew that I knew. Dad, don't, I said. Don't what? Don't start with, Dad. You called me here because you're in trouble. You didn't call me here because you missed me. You didn't call me here because you wanted to see me. You called me because you're scared. She opened her mouth. Closed it. Then she nodded. Marco owes money to the wrong people, she said. A lot of money. He borrowed from a guy named Salazar. Now Salazar wants his money and Marco can't pay. So they're coming after me. Where's Marco? I don't know. He left. He packed a bag 2 days ago and he's gone. I haven't heard from him. Did he tell you what he owed the money for? She hesitated. That was when I knew there was more. She hesitated the same way she did when she asked for rent money. The same way she did when she said, I love you, Dad, too fast. He was trying to keep the bar open, she said. Business was bad. He took a loan from Salazar. Now the loan's due and he can't pay. How much? 40,000. I didn't say anything for a long time. I just stood there in the empty warehouse and looked at my daughter. This woman in front of me. She was a stranger. I didn't know her. I didn't know what she liked to eat. I didn't know who her friends were. I didn't know what made her laugh or what made her cry. I knew one thing. She had my number on speed dial and she only called it when she was broke. Jen, I'm going to ask you something and I need you to tell me the truth. She nodded. That the money I sent you. Every month. For 3 years. Where did it go? She blinked. I told you. Rent. Bills. Food. Then how do you own a house in Scottsdale? Her face went white. She stepped back. How do you know about that? I've known for 8 months. I've known about Marco. I've known about the bar. I've known about everything. I've been waiting to see if you'd ever tell me yourself. She didn't say anything. She looked at the floor. Her hands were shaking. The money went to the bar, she said quietly. Marco needed it. I thought if I could help him get the bar going, we'd make it back. I thought, you thought you'd keep lying to me. I thought you'd understand. You always said you wanted to help me. I always said I wanted to help you. Not your husband. Not a business. Not some scheme to keep you in a house I can't even afford to visit. She looked up. Her eyes were wet. Dad, I'm sorry. You've been sorry for 3 years, Jen. Sorry doesn't mean anything anymore. I turned to walk out. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I couldn't stand there another second. Dad, she said. I don't have anyone else. I stopped at the door. I didn't turn around. Neither do I said. That I walked to my truck. I got in. I sat there with my hands on the wheel. My heart was beating too fast. My chest was tight. I couldn't catch my breath. Then I heard her voice through the crack in the passenger window. Dad, please. I'm scared. I looked at her standing there in the yellow light from the street lamp. She looked small. She looked lost. She looked like the girl who used to hold my hand at her mother's funeral. I should have driven away. I should have left her there. She'd used me. She'd lied to me. She'd taken everything I gave her and she'd turned it into a life I wasn't part of. But I got out of the truck. Tell me everything, I said. From the beginning. And this time, don't leave anything out. She nodded. She wiped her eyes with the back of her hand. She took a breath. It started 3 years ago, she said. Right after Mom died. I met Marco at a bar. I was drinking too much. I was sad. He was there. He was kind. He said all the right things. He told me he had a business. He told me he could take care of me. I believed him. You married him. 6 months later. He wanted the bar. He said we could make a life together. I put up the money. I used my savings. Then I used yours. You used mine. I thought it was temporary. I thought once the bar was making money I'd pay you back. But it never made money. It just kept losing more. And Marco kept borrowing. And I kept calling you because I didn't know what else to do. I listened. I didn't interrupt. I just stood there in the empty street and let her words wash over me. Marco got greedy, she said. He wanted to expand. He borrowed from Salazar. He told me it was a small loan, a few thousand. It was 40,000. He lied to me just like I lied to you. How did you find out? The text message. Salazar's guys sent it to me. They know where I live. They know about the bar. They know about Marco. They said they'd hurt me if he didn't pay. So you called me. I didn't know who else to call. You're the only one who ever picked up. That last part hit me. She was right. I always picked up. No matter what time. No matter where I was. I always answered because I was afraid that if I didn't, something bad would happen and it would be my fault. You need to go to the police, I said. I can't. Marco's got a record. If the cops get involved, he'll go to jail. And I'll lose everything. You've already lost everything, Jen. The house. The bar. Your marriage. You've lost it all. The only thing you haven't lost is your life. She started crying then. Not the fake crying she did on the phone. Real crying. The kind that shakes your whole body. I don't know how to fix this, she said. That I looked at her. My daughter. The only family I had left in the world. She'd used me and lied to me and taken everything I had. And I still couldn't walk away. Get in the truck, I said. That she looked up. Where are we going? To see a man named Danny. He used to be a sheriff. He knows people. He might be able to help. She got in the passenger seat. She sat with her hands in her lap. She didn't say anything. Neither did I. I drove to Danny's house in Mesa. The sun was just coming up. Pink and orange over the mountains. Pretty. I didn't care about pretty. I cared about one thing. I was going to find out the truth. Every single piece of it. And I was going to do it on my own terms. Danny opened the door in his bathrobe. He looked at me. He looked at Jennifer. He didn't ask questions. He just stepped aside. You want coffee or you want to talk? He said. Both, I said. That I sat down at his kitchen table. Jennifer sat across from me. Danny poured the coffee and sat down with us. He looked at Jennifer and said, You're the daughter. Yes, sir. Your dad's been a friend of mine for 20 years. He's the most honest man I know. You understand what that means to me? She nodded. Good, he said. Then let's start talking. And let's start with the truth. She started talking. She told him everything. The marriage. The bar. Marco. Salazar. The 40,000. She told him about every check I'd sent her and every lie she told to get them. When she finished, Danny looked at me. This isn't just a loan problem. This is organized crime. Salazar's a name I know. He runs a ring out of South Phoenix. Drugs. Gambling. Extortion. He's not someone you want to owe money to. I know, I said. Then you know the only way out is to pay him or disappear. And neither one of those is easy. I'm not paying him, I said. And I'm not disappearing. Danny looked at me. What are you planning, old friend? I didn't answer. I just looked at Jennifer. She was staring at her coffee. She looked small and scared and alone. But I wasn't alone anymore. I had a decision to make. And I was going to make it. Jen, I said. I'm going to ask you one more time. Is there anything else you haven't told me? She looked up. Her eyes met mine. For a second, I thought she was going to lie again. Then she broke. There's one more thing, she said. The bar. It's not just a bar. Marco's been using it for something else. I didn't know at first. But I found out. What is it, Jen? She took a breath. There's a basement. And there are things in that basement. Things that don't belong in a bar. Dad, Marco's got people. He's got a whole operation going on down there. And Salazar's not the only one he owes money to. He's in with some other people. Worse people. I looked at Danny. His face was pale. This just got a lot more complicated, he said. I don't care how complicated it gets, I said. I'm not leaving here until we fix this. She looked at me. Her eyes were wet. Dad, I'm sorry. For everything. I didn't say I forgive you. I didn't say it's okay. Because it wasn't okay. She'd broken something in me that I wasn't sure could be fixed. But I was still her father. And I still had a job to do. Tell me everything about that basement, I said. And don't leave out a single detail. Danny's kitchen was quiet except for the hum of the old refrigerator. Jennifer stared at her coffee like she was trying to read something in the dark liquid. I waited. I didn't rush her. I'd learned that rushing her never got me the truth. It just got me a better lie. There's a door behind the kegs, she said finally. I thought it was a storage room. I went down there once, maybe 6 months ago. I was looking for Marco. He'd been gone all night. I thought he was drinking with his buddies. I opened the door and I saw the stairs. I went down. She stopped. Her hands were shaking around the mug. What did you see? I asked. Tables. Chairs. A big safe in the corner. And a bunch of men I didn't know. They were playing cards. There was money everywhere. Thousands of dollars. Marco was there. He was running the game. When he saw me, he lost his mind. He grabbed my arm and pulled me back up the stairs. He told me I was never to go down there again. He said it wasn't safe. Did you go back? No. But I heard things. I heard him on the phone at night. Talking about shipments. About deliveries. About keeping the cops off his back. It wasn't just gambling. He was moving something else. Something worse. Danny leaned forward. Drugs? I don't know. I never saw them. But he had a lot of money coming in. Cash. And he always had people coming and going at weird hours. He told me they were suppliers. For the bar. But bars don't get deliveries at 3 in the morning. I looked at Danny. His face was tight. He'd spent 30 years in law enforcement. He knew what this sounded like. If Marco's running a gambling den out of that bar and he's got drugs coming through, Danny said, then Salazar's not just a loan shark. Salazar's probably his partner. Or his competition. Either way, we're not dealing with a simple debt. We're dealing with a criminal enterprise. Jennifer's face went white. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. I thought the bar was just failing. I thought we were just poor. You were poor because Marco was funneling everything into his operation, I said. Every dollar you made, every dollar I sent you, it all went into that basement. She put her head in her hands. I'm so stupid. Yeah, I said. You are. Danny looked at me. I didn't care if it sounded harsh. It was the truth. She was 38 years old and she'd been living in a fantasy world. She didn't want to see what was right in front of her face because seeing it would mean admitting she'd made a terrible mistake. But I wasn't going to protect her from that anymore. What do you want to do? Danny asked me. I thought about it. I could walk away. I could go back to Tucumcari and change my phone number and forget I ever had a daughter. I could let her figure it out on her own. That was what I should have done 8 months ago. But I was already in this. I was already driving 400 miles in the middle of the night. I was already sitting in Danny's kitchen with a daughter who'd ruined everything I'd given her. I want to go to the bar, I said. Jennifer looked up. What? I want to see this basement. I want to see what Marco's been hiding. And then I want to figure out exactly who I need to talk to. You can't just walk in there, Danny said. If Salazar's got eyes on that place, they'll know who you are within 10 minutes. Then you're coming with me. Danny smiled. It wasn't a happy smile. It was the smile of a man who'd been retired for 5 years and was about to remember exactly why he'd retired. I don't think you understand what you're asking, he said. I understand perfectly. I'm asking you to help me do something I should have done a long time ago. I'm asking you to help me protect my daughter from a mess she helped create. And I'm asking you to do it because you're the only person I know who can. He looked at me for a long time. Then he stood up and walked to a cabinet in the corner of his kitchen. He opened it and pulled out a key. He tossed it to me. "To get my truck," he said. "The black one. It's in the garage. I'll get dressed." I caught the key. Jennifer stared at me. "What about me?" she asked. "It you stay here. You don't call anyone. You don't go anywhere. And if Marco calls, you tell him you're at a motel and you don't know where to go. What if he shows up?" "He won't. He ran. He's not coming back for you. He's coming back for the money, and he'll figure out another way to get it." She nodded. She looked scared. But for once, she didn't look like she was lying. She just looked like a woman who'd been cornered. That I walked out to Danny's garage. It was packed with old furniture and dusty boxes. In the middle was a black Ford F-150. It was 10 years old but clean. I got in and started it up. The engine hummed. I sat there for a minute, gripping the steering wheel. Then Danny came out. He was wearing jeans and a leather jacket. He had a small bag slung over his shoulder. He got in the passenger side. "You got a plan?" he asked. "Step 1, we go to the bar. Step 2, we get in the basement. Step 3, we find out exactly what Marco's been hiding. After that, we figure out what to do." "That's not a plan. That's a wish list. It's better than nothing." He laughed. It was a dry laugh. "I'm too old for this. I retired because I didn't want to get shot at anymore." "We're not getting shot at," I said. "We're just looking." Famous last words. We drove to the Rusty Spur. It was a squat building on a dusty strip near the interstate. The parking lot was empty. The sign was flickering. I parked across the street and we sat and watched for 10 minutes. Nobody came. Nobody went. "It locked." Danny said. "That you know how to pick a lock." "I know how to use a crowbar." He got out of the truck. I followed him. We walked to the back door. The alley smelled like garbage and stale beer. Danny pulled a crowbar out of his bag. He wedged it into the frame and leaned into it. The wood splintered. The door swung open. We went inside. The bar was dark. Dusty. Chairs were stacked on tables. A pool table stood in the middle of the room like a monument to a better time. "Where's the door?" I asked. "Behind the counter," Danny said. She said. "Behind the kegs." I walked behind the bar. There was a row of old kegs, empty and rusted. Behind them, a door. Painted the same color as the wall. Hard to see unless you were looking. That I opened it. Stairs went down. "Dim light at the bottom." "That you first," Danny said. That I went down. The stairs creaked. The air was cold and smelled like cigarettes and sweat. At the bottom was a room. It was bigger than I expected. Card tables. Folding chairs. A safe in the corner. And on the walls, nailed up like some kind of sick decoration, were photographs. Dozens of them. People I didn't know. Men. Women. All of them with numbers written on their faces. I walked closer. My stomach turned. "What is this?" I said. Danny came up behind me. He looked at the photos. His face went gray. "That's a collection," he said. "Marco's running a debt book. He's got loans out to half the people in this county. And these photos are reminders. These are people who owe him money. The numbers are the amounts." I looked at them. There was a picture of a young woman, maybe 20 years old. Her number was 5,000. There was a picture of an old man with a beard. His number was 1,200. There were dozens of them. Names and numbers and faces. "He's not running a gambling den," Danny said. "He's running a loan shark operation. He's the one lending the money. He's the one collecting. The gambling's just a front. It's where he gets the cash to lend out. Then why does he owe Salazar? Because Salazar's the one funding him. Salazar gives Marco the cash. Marco lends it out at interest. Marco kicks a cut back to Salazar. It's a partnership. And something went wrong. I looked at the safe. It was old and heavy. There was a keypad on the front. You know the combination? Danny asked. That no. Then we're done here. I reached out and tried the handle. It turned. The safe clicked open. My heart started pounding. Inside were stacks of cash. Thousands of dollars. And a ledger. I pulled it out. It was a spiral notebook. Pages and pages of names and numbers and dates. I started flipping through it. And then I saw it. My name. Douglas Hart. Date, last month. Amount, $500. Note, paid. I froze. What is it? Danny said that he's been keeping track of my payments, I said. Every check I sent Jennifer. Every Western Union transfer. He's got them all listed here. Right next to his other borrowers. Danny came over and looked. His face hardened. That Marco was using your money to fund his operation, he said. Every dollar you sent your daughter went straight into this. I felt something break inside me. Not anger. Something worse. Something cold and final. That she knew. I said. That what she had to have known. She was the one who cashed the checks. She was the one who picked up the transfers. She had to have known what it was going toward. Danny didn't say anything. He didn't need to. I closed the ledger. I put it in my jacket pocket. I took a handful of cash and put that in my pocket too. Then I closed the safe. We're leaving, I said. What about the pictures? Leave them. They're evidence. We'll need them. We went back up the stairs. We were halfway across the bar when the front door opened. A man walked in. He was tall, skinny, with a shaved head and a tattoo on his neck. He looked at us. He looked at the crowbar in Danny's hand. And then he pulled a gun. Don't move, he said. The gun was a snub-nosed revolver. Old but clean. The man holding it had the kind of dead eyes that didn't blink. He looked at Danny. He looked at me. Then he looked at the crowbar in Danny's hand and smiled. You boys are in the wrong place, he said. Looks like we are, I said. My voice was steady. I don't know how. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. But I'd been in tight spots before. Not with a gun in my face. But close enough. The man stepped closer. He was younger than me. Maybe 40. Built like a fighter. The tattoo on his neck was a snake coiled around a dagger. I'd seen that tattoo before. On a man at a truck stop in New Mexico. He'd been wearing a leather vest with a patch on the back. Club colors. Who sent you? He asked. Nobody sent us, Danny said. We're just looking for a friend. Friend's not here. Then we'll come back later. The man laughed. It was a dry, hollow sound. You think I'm stupid? You broke in. You went down to the basement. I saw you coming out. You think I'm just going to let you walk out of here? We don't want any trouble, I said. Then you shouldn't have come looking for it. He raised the gun. I saw his finger tighten on the trigger. Danny moved. Fast. Too fast for a man his age. He swung the crowbar and hit the man's wrist. The gun went off. The bullet hit the ceiling. Dust rained down. The man yelled and dropped the revolver. Danny hit him again, this time in the ribs. The man crumpled. I grabbed the gun off the floor. It was warm in my hand. I pointed it at the man's head. He was on his knees, clutching his side. Danny stood over him, breathing hard. Who are you? I asked. Go to hell. I put the gun against his forehead. I've got nothing to lose. You understand me? Nothing. So you're going to answer my questions or I'm going to blow your head off and walk out of here. He looked at me. He saw something in my eyes that made him believe me. Name's Rick, he said. I work for Salazar. Where's Salazar? I don't know. He doesn't tell me where he's at. He calls me. I do what he says. What did he tell you to do here? Watch the place. Make sure nobody breaks in. That's it. Where's Marco? Rick hesitated. I pressed the gun harder against his forehead. I don't know, he said. He ran. He's got half the money Salazar gave him. Salazar wants it back. He wants Marco's head on a platter. And you were waiting for him to come back. Figured he might show up. Grab more cash. Grab his woman. He's not smart enough to stay gone forever. His woman's gone, I said. She's not coming back. Rick laughed again. You think she didn't know what he was doing? She was in on it from the start. She helped him launder the money. She was the one who handled the checks. She told Marco all about you. How you'd send anything she asked for. They used you like an ATM. I felt the words hit me. They hit me hard. But I didn't let it show. Where's the rest of the money? I asked. Safe. In the basement. There's about 20,000 in there. The rest is gone. Marco took it. Who else knows about this place? Salazar. A few guys. Nobody else. We keep it quiet. The cops have been sniffing around. Salazar's been trying to keep things low-key. I looked at Danny. He nodded. We had what we needed. Here's what's going to happen, I said. You're going to stay on your knees until we're gone. If you follow us, I'll shoot you. If you call anyone, I'll find out and I'll come back. You understand? He nodded. I stepped back. Danny picked up the crowbar. We walked out the back door. I kept the gun in my hand until we were in the truck. Then I put it in the glove compartment and drove. Nobody followed us. We drove in silence back to Danny's house. The sun was up. The sky was blue. The world looked normal. But nothing felt normal. When we got inside, Jennifer was sitting at the kitchen table. She looked up when we walked in. She saw my face. She saw Danny's face. And she knew something had happened. What's wrong? She said. I didn't answer her. I pulled the ledger out of my jacket and threw it on the table. It landed with a heavy thud. Read it, I said. She picked it up. She opened it. I watched her face change as she read. Her eyes went wide. Her mouth opened. She flipped page after page. This is. She started. Your husband's loan book. Every dollar I ever sent you. Every check. Every transfer. Every time you called me crying about rent or bills or car repairs. It's all in there. He was using your money to lend to other people. At interest. She shook her head. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. You knew enough, Jen. You knew he was in trouble. You knew he was borrowing money. You knew he was running something out of that basement. You just didn't want to ask the questions because asking questions meant you'd have to stop taking my money. She looked at me. Her eyes were wet. But I wasn't going to let the tears work this time. Dad, I didn't know about the ledger. I didn't know about the operation. I thought he was just gambling. I thought it was stupid but harmless. I didn't know he was loaning money. I didn't know he was doing this. Does it matter? You still took my money. You still lied to me. You still called me every week with a new story and you never once asked how I was doing. She didn't answer. There was nothing to answer. Danny walked over to the table. He sat down. He looked at Jennifer and then he looked at me. We need to decide what to do, he said. About what? Jennifer asked. Your husband stole from Salazar. Salazar's going to want his money back. And if he can't find Marco, he's going to come looking for you. Jennifer's face went pale. He knows where I live. Then you can't go home. Where am I supposed to go? I looked at her. She was asking me to save her again. And I was tired. Tired of saving her. Tired of bailing her out. Tired of being the only one who ever tried. But she was my daughter. I couldn't turn my back on her. Not completely to stay here, I said. Danny's got security cameras. He's got a safe. He's got a gun. Nobody's going to find you here. What about Marco? She asked. What about him? He's going to come back. He's going to need more money. He's going to come looking for me. I'm the only one who knows where he stashed the rest of the cash. I looked at Danny. She's right. Marco's not going to stay gone forever. He's going to need cash. And he knows Jennifer knows where it is. Does she? Danny asked. Jennifer hesitated. He had a storage unit. I don't know where. But he said once if anything ever happened to him, I'd be set for life. He said there was enough money there to start over. That's why he ran, Danny said. He emptied the safe and he put it somewhere else. He's planning to come back for it. Or he's planning to come back for her, I said. He'll use her to get the money. Jennifer looked at me. What do? I took a breath. I'd spent 3 years giving her what she asked for. Now I was going to give her something else. Here's what you're going to do, I said. You're going to call Marco. You're going to tell him you need to see him. You're going to tell him you know where the money is and you'll only tell him in person. What you're going to get him to come to you. And when he does, we're going to take him. She stared at me. That's insane. He'll never fall for it. He'll fall for it if he thinks he can get his money. He's desperate. Desperate men make mistakes. Danny nodded slowly. It's risky. But it might work. Are you crazy? Jennifer said. He'll kill me. No, he won't. He needs you. He needs you to get the money. He won't hurt you until he has it. I looked at her. She was scared. But she was also guilty. And guilt makes people do things they wouldn't normally do. I want you to see exactly who you married, I said. I want you to see him for what he is. And when you do, you're going to understand why I can't keep giving you money to throw down a hole. She looked at me for a long time. Then she nodded. I'll do it, she said. Good. Get your phone. Call him now. She pulled out her phone. She dialed. It rang 3 times. Then someone picked up. Marco, she said. It's me. I need to see you. There was a pause. I could hear his voice on the other end. Muffled. Fast. I know where the money is, she said. I found the storage unit receipt. I know everything. Another pause. Then she said, the Rusty Spur tonight. Midnight. Come alone. She hung up. Her hands were shaking. He's coming, she said. Good, I said. Then we've got work to do. I looked at Danny. He nodded. We were in it now. All of us. Let's go to the bar, I said. And this time, we're going to be ready for him. We spent the rest of the day planning. Danny had a map of the bar on his kitchen table. He'd drawn it from memory. The front entrance. The back door. The stairs to the basement. The alley out back. Every angle covered. I'll be in the basement, Danny said. You two will be upstairs. When Marco shows up, you get him to talk. I'll handle the rest. Handle how? Jennifer asked. I'll take care of it, he said. You don't need to know the details. She looked at me. I didn't say anything. I trusted Danny. I'd known him for 20 years. He'd been a sheriff for 30. He knew what he was doing. One more thing, Danny said. If this goes wrong, if things get out of hand, you get out. Both of you. You don't wait for me. You don't try to be heroes. You just run. I'm not running, I said that you will if I tell you to. He meant it. I nodded that we left for the bar at 9. The sun was down. The streets were empty. The rusty spur sat dark and quiet at the end of the strip. I parked a block away. We walked through the alley. The back door was still broken from earlier. We went inside. Danny disappeared down the stairs to the basement. I heard him moving around down there, setting things up. Jennifer and I stood in the main room. It was dark except for the streetlight coming through the front window. I could see her face. She was scared that you don't have to do this, I said that no. You can change your mind. I'll figure something else out. She shook her head. No. I need to do this. I need to see him. I need to know what he really is. He's a criminal, Jen. You already know that. I know what you've told me. I know what I've seen. But part of me still thinks he loved me. I need to know if that was real. I didn't say anything. I didn't have the heart to tell her the truth. Marco never loved her. He loved her money. He loved her connection to me. He loved what she could give him. But love that wasn't part of the equation. Midnight came and went. No Marco. I knew it, Jennifer said. He's not coming. Give it time. Another 10 minutes. Then 20. I was starting to think she was right. Then I heard a car pull up outside. Engine cut off. Door opened and closed. Footsteps on the pavement. Marco walked through the front door. He was shorter than I expected. Stocky. Dark hair. Gold chain around his neck. He was wearing a leather jacket and jeans. He looked like he hadn't slept in days. Jen, he said. You here? She stepped out of the shadows. I'm here. He walked toward her. I stayed in the dark. I wanted to see him first. See how he moved. See what he did. Where's the money? He asked. I don't have it. What? I said I don't have it. I lied about the storage unit. I don't know where your money is. His face changed. The calm disappeared. His eyes went cold. You called me here for nothing. I called you here because I wanted to see you. I wanted to look at you and know what you really are. He laughed. It was a mean laugh. You know what I am. I'm your husband. I'm the man who took care of you. I'm the man who kept you in a nice house and a nice car and gave you everything you ever wanted. Everything you gave me was stolen. You took my father's money. You took it and you used it to fund your operation. You lied to me from day one. Don't get all high and mighty with me. You knew what I was doing. You just didn't want to ask questions. You liked the money. You liked the lifestyle. You liked not having to work. That's not true. Really? Then why didn't you leave? Why didn't you walk out the door the first time you saw what I was doing? Because you wanted the life. You wanted to be married to a man with money. You just didn't want to admit it was dirty money. She didn't answer. She couldn't. Because he was right. She'd known. On some level, she'd always known. She just didn't want to see it. Now where's my money? Marco said that I told you. I don't have it. He stepped closer. He grabbed her arm. Hard. She winced. You're lying. I know you're lying. Tell me where the money is or I swear to God I'll let her go. I stepped out of the shadows. Marco turned. He looked at me. Then he smiled. The old man, he said. The ATM. I was wondering when you'd show up. Let her go. Or what, you going to hit me with your cane? I walked toward him. I was older than him. Slower. But I wasn't scared. Not anymore. I'd been scared for 3 years. I'd been scared of losing my daughter. I'd been scared of being alone. I'd been scared of being a failure. But standing there in that dark bar, looking at the man who'd taken everything from me, I wasn't scared of anything. "Your money's gone," I said. I took it. Marco's face went red. "You what? I found your safe. I found your ledger. I took the cash. About 20,000. It's not here. You'll never find it." He let go of Jennifer. He walked toward me. His fists were clenched. "You're an old man," he said. "You think you can steal from me and just walk away." I already did walk away. I walked away from my daughter. I walked away from every check I ever sent her. I walked away from the life I thought I had. You can't take anything from me. I've got nothing left. He swung at me. I saw it coming. I ducked. He missed. I punched him in the gut. He doubled over. I hit him again, in the side of the head. He stumbled back. Then Danny appeared. He came up from the basement. He had a gun in his hand. He pointed it at Marco. "Don't move," Danny said. Marco froze. He looked at Danny. Then he looked at me. Then he looked at Jennifer. "This is your play," Marco said. "You set me up." "I set you up," I said. "She just made the call." Marco laughed again. It was bitter. "You think this changes anything? You think you've won? Salazar's going to find out about all of this. He's going to come looking for me, and when he does, he's going to find you." "Let him," I said. "I've got your ledger. I've got your books. I've got your operation documented. You think Salazar's going to want that coming out? He's going to want to keep things quiet. He's going to cut his losses and disappear." Danny stepped forward. He patted Marco down. "Found a knife. Found a wallet. Found a phone. He took everything." "You're going to jail," Danny said. "On what charge?" "Breaking and entering. Assault. Possession of a firearm. That's just for starters. Once the state police get a look at that ledger, you're going away for a long time." Marco looked at Jennifer. "You're going to let them do this to me?" She didn't answer. She just looked at him. And for the first time, I saw something in her eyes. Not love. Not fear. Something else. Recognition. She was seeing him for who he really was. "You used me," she said. "I loved you. You used me, and you used my father, and you used everyone you ever met. You don't love anyone. You don't even know what love is." Marco opened his mouth. Then he closed it. There was nothing left to say. Danny made the call. State police showed up 20 minutes later. They took Marco away in handcuffs. They took the ledger and the photos and the gun. They took statements. They took pictures. They did their job. By the time it was over, the sun was coming up. I stood in the parking lot. I looked at my truck. I was tired. Bone tired. But something felt different. Something felt lighter. Jennifer walked over to me. Her eyes were red. She'd been crying. "I'm sorry," she said. "I know. I should have been better. I should have been a better daughter. I should have called you just to talk. I should have visited. I should have." "Stop," I said. "Just stop." She looked at me. I looked back at her. "You can't undo what you did," I said. "You can't take back all the lies. You can't give me back the years I spent waiting for you to call. But you can choose to do better. Starting now. I don't know how. One step at a time. One call at a time. One visit at a time. You start by showing up. You don't ask for anything. You just show up. And you keep showing up until I believe you mean it." She nodded. "I can do that." "Good. Dad, what, do you still love me?" I looked at her. She was asking the same question she'd been asking for years. She just wanted me to say yes. But I'd said yes so many times. I'd said yes while she took everything I had. I'd said yes while she lied and cheated and stole. I'd said yes while she treated me like an ATM. This time, I didn't say yes to, I love the idea of you, I said. I love the girl you used to be. I love the potential I see in you. But the you that exists right now. The you that called me only when you needed money, that's not someone I can love the same way. She started crying again. I didn't stop her. I can still be your father, I said. But I'm not going to be your bank. I'm not going to be your safety net. I'm not going to be the person you call only when everything else falls apart. If you want a relationship with me, you have to earn it. You have to prove to me that I matter to you. Not just when you need something. Every day. She wiped her eyes. I can do that. Then we'll see. I walked to my truck. I got in. I started the engine. I looked in the rearview mirror. Jennifer was standing in the parking lot, watching me. She looked small and alone. For a moment, I almost got out. I almost went back to her. I almost said it was okay. I almost told her I'd forgotten everything. But I didn't. I put the truck in gear and I drove away. I drove back to Danny's house. I slept on his couch. I slept better than I had in years. When I woke up, Jennifer was sitting in the kitchen. She'd made coffee. She pushed a cup toward me without saying anything. I took it. I drank it. It was good coffee. Thank you, I said. I'm not going to ask for anything, she said. I'm just going to be here. Until you're ready to trust me again. I nodded. I didn't say anything else. I just drank my coffee and watched the sun come up. It was a start. A small one. But it was a start. I stayed at Danny's for 3 days. Jennifer stayed too. She didn't ask for anything. She didn't mention money. She didn't even look at her phone. She just sat in the kitchen and drank coffee and tried to figure out what came next. Danny kept us updated. Marco was in county jail. The state police had frozen the bar and the house. Jennifer's accounts were being investigated. She'd probably lose everything. The cars, the jewelry, the house in Scottsdale. All of it. Good, I said. She needs to start over from zero. She's not going to fight it, Danny said. She already signed over everything. She's done with that life. I looked at Jennifer. She was sitting on the back porch, staring at the desert. She'd lost weight. Her face looked thinner. But something about her looked clearer. Cleaner. Like she'd finally washed off a layer of dirt she'd been carrying for years. I walked out and sat down next to her. She didn't look at me. I'm going back to Tucumcari, I said. I know. You can come with me if you want. She turned. Her eyes were red. Really, you can stay in the spare room. It's not much. Single wide, like I told you. But it's got a roof and a bed and a door that locks. You can stay until you figure out what you want to do. Dad, I don't have any money. I don't have a car. I don't have anything. Good. Then you've got nothing to lose. That's the best place to start from. Believe me, I know. She looked at me for a long time. Then she nodded. Okay. We drove back the next morning. I let her drive part of the way. She was nervous at first, but she settled in. She didn't talk much. Neither did I. But it wasn't an uncomfortable silence. It was the kind of silence that sits easy between two people who don't need to fill every gap with words. The single wide looked the same as when I left. Small. Rusted. The wind was blowing and the old roof creaked. I opened the door and let her in. Home sweet home, I said. She looked around. The worn couch. The TV with the antenna. The kitchen counter with the stack of mail. My lazy boy with the torn armrest. It's small, she said. It's mine. That's what matters. I showed her the spare room. It had a twin bed and a dresser and a window that faced the road. She put her bag on the bed and sat down. Thank you, she said. Don't thank me yet. There's nothing to do here. No bars. No restaurants. No nothing. Just the desert and the wind and the road. Good. I need nothing right now. The first week was hard. She was quiet. She didn't know what to do with herself. I gave her chores. Sweep the porch. Fix the leaky faucet. Water the one dead plant I kept by the door. She did them without complaint. She didn't ask for anything. She just worked. That I started going to the diner on Saturday mornings again. Ellen was there. She asked about my daughter. I told her the truth. Not all of it, but enough. Ellen nodded like she understood. She'll come around, Ellen said. Or she won't. Either way, you've done your part. I don't know if I've done enough. From what you told me, you did too much. Now you're doing the right amount. That's the hardest part. Knowing when to stop giving. I nodded. She was right. I'd spent 3 years giving too much. Now I was learning to give just enough. Just the right amount. It wasn't easy. But it was getting easier. On the second week, Jennifer came to me. She had her phone in her hand. She looked scared. I got a call, she said. From a number I don't know. I didn't answer. But they left a message. What did it say? She played the message. A man's voice. Low. Calm. Mrs. Ruiz. My name is Esteban Salazar. I think we need to talk. I know you're with your father. I know where he lives. I don't want trouble. But I need my money. Call me back. I sat down. I felt the old familiar knot in my chest. How did he find us? Jennifer asked Marco. He must have told him. Or one of his guys. Salazar has connections. He knows people. He could have found us in a day. What do we do? I thought about it. Running was pointless. He knew where we were. Hiding was pointless. He'd find us eventually. The only option was to face it head on. I'll call him, I said. Dad, no. He's dangerous. So am I. When I've got nothing left to lose. I took her phone. I dialed the number. It rang twice. Then the same voice answered. Mrs. Ruiz. I'm glad you called. This is her father, I said. Talk to me. There was a pause. Then Salazar laughed. It was a deep laugh. Not friendly. The famous father. I've heard a lot about you. You're the one who's been funding Marco's operation all these years. I'm the one who took his money and gave it to the police. You did more than that. You put my entire business in jeopardy. You gave that ledger to the state police. They've been crawling all over my operations for 3 days. I've lost tens of thousands of dollars because of you. Then you know what I'm capable of. I know you're a stubborn old man. But stubborn doesn't mean smart. I need my money. And I'm going to get it. Your money's gone. Marco spent it. Whatever he borrowed from you, it's gone. He was running your operation into the ground and you were too blind to see it. I heard Salazar take a breath. He was angry. But he was controlled. I don't care about Marco, he said. Marco's a dead man walking. But I care about the money. And I care about my reputation. You made me look weak. You made me look like I could be robbed by an old man and a woman. So what do you want? Meet me. Face to face. Just you and me. No cops. No Danny. No daughter. Just the two of us. You come to me and we settle this like men. I'll send you the address. Tomorrow night. 8 o'clock. You come alone, I'll let your daughter live. You bring anyone else, I'll find her and I'll make sure you never see her again. I looked at Jennifer. She was shaking her head. But I'd already made my choice. That fine, I said. Send me the address. I'll be there. I hung up. Jennifer grabbed my arm. Dad, you can't go. He'll kill you. Maybe. But if I don't go, he'll come here. And he'll kill both of us. I'll call Danny. I'll call the police. They won't get here in time. And if I bring them, Salazar will know. He's got people watching. You don't think he knows we're staying here? He probably knows what I had for breakfast. She stared at me. Her eyes were wet. I can't lose you, she said. Not now. Not after everything. You're not going to lose me. I'm going to go talk to him. And then I'm going to come back. How can you be so sure? I put my hands on her shoulders. I looked her in the eyes. Because I'm your father. And I've spent 3 years being scared of losing you. I'm done being scared. I'm done letting fear tell me what to do. I'm going to face this man and I'm going to tell him the truth. And then I'm going to come home. She hugged me. It was the first real hug she'd given me in years. I felt her shaking. Promise me, she said. That I promise. I left the next night. I drove to the address Salazar sent me. It was an empty warehouse on the edge of Phoenix. Same kind of place I'd met Jennifer at weeks ago. Same darkness. Same emptiness. That I walked inside. The door closed behind me. I heard footsteps. A man stepped out of the shadows. He was tall. Gray-haired. Dressed in a suit. He looked like a businessman. Douglas Hart, he said. Esteban Salazar. He smiled. You came alone. I respect that. You said you'd let my daughter live. That's what I came for. I always keep my word. Your daughter is safe. For now. He walked around me. Circling. Watching me. You cost me a lot of money, he said. You cost me a lot of time and energy. You made me look like a fool. And that's not something I can forgive easily. I didn't do it to make you look like a fool. I did it to save my daughter. Your daughter is a grown woman. She made her choices. She chose Marco. She chose the money. She chose to use you. She didn't care about you. And you still came all this way to save her. Because she's my daughter. That's what fathers do. He looked at me. He tilted his head. You're a strange man, Douglas. Most people would have walked away. Most people would have let her drown. But you didn't. I'm not most people. No, he said. You're not. He reached into his pocket. My hand went to the gun I'd brought. But he pulled out a slip of paper. He handed it to me. Read it, he said. That I unfolded it. It was a letter. Handwritten. Addressed to Salazar. Dear Mr. Salazar. I owe you a debt. I can't pay it back. But my father can. He has savings. He has land. He's got a pension. If you give me time, I'll get the money from him. Just don't hurt me. Please. It was in Jennifer's handwriting that I looked up. Salazar was watching me. She sent that to me 3 weeks ago, he said. Before Marco ran. Before you found out about the basement. Before any of this happened. She was planning to steal from you. Again. I didn't say anything. I just folded the letter and put it in my pocket. Now you know, Salazar said. Now you know exactly what kind of woman your daughter really is. I looked at him. I looked at the letter in my pocket. And then I looked him in the eyes. She's still my daughter, I said. And I'm still going to protect her. Salazar nodded. He stepped back. He reached out his hand. I'm not going to kill you, he said. I'm not going to hurt her. Because I respect what you did tonight. You came here knowing you might die. You came here to save someone who didn't deserve saving. That takes a certain kind of man. Then we're done here, we're done. I'm leaving Phoenix. The police have made it too hot. But if you ever cross me again, Douglas, I'll find you. And I won't be so forgiving. He walked to the back of the warehouse. A door opened. A car started. And then he was gone. That I stood in the empty warehouse for a long time. My hands were shaking. My heart was pounding. But I was alive. That I drove back to Tucumcari. I got home at 4 a.m. Jennifer was waiting on the porch. She ran to me when I got out of the truck. Dad, you're okay. I'm okay. What happened? What did he say? I pulled the letter out of my pocket. I handed it to her. She read it. Her face went pale. Dad, I can explain. No. You can't. And I don't want you to. Please, I was scared. I didn't know what else to do. I thought if I told him you had money, he'd leave me alone. You were going to sell me out again. She started crying. But it didn't matter this time. It was too late for crying. That I'm not going to throw you out, I said. I'm not going to send you away. But you have to understand something. Every time I trust you, you break that trust. Every time I give you a chance, you use it to hurt me. That's going to stop. Tonight. She nodded. She was shaking. That I'll make it right, she said. I'll spend the rest of my life making it right. I don't want you to spend the rest of your life making it right. I want you to spend the rest of your life being better. That's the only thing that matters. Not apologies. Not promises. Action. Day after day, year after year. Action. She nodded. She wiped her eyes. That I can do that, she said. Then do it. Starting tomorrow. I went inside. I sat in my lazy boy. The sun was coming up. I looked at the letter on the table. I thought about Salazar. I thought about Marco. I thought about everything that had happened. And I made a decision. The next morning, I got up early. I made coffee. I sat on the porch with Jennifer. She was quiet. But she was there. That was all I asked for. Danny called, she said. Marco's going to trial. He's going away for a long time. Good. The police are returning some of the money they found. Not much. A few thousand. Keep it, I said. Start a savings account. Don't touch it. Save it for when you need it. Dad, don't argue. Just do it. She nodded. She looked at the desert. The sun was rising. The sky was pink and orange. It's beautiful here, she said. It's home. She turned to me. Dad, I'm sorry. For everything. For all of it. For the calls and the money and the lies and the letter. I'm sorry. I know you are. But sorry doesn't mean anything until you prove it. I'm going to prove it. I hope you do. I took a sip of my coffee. The wind was warm. The morning was quiet. And for the first time in a long time, I felt like I was exactly where I needed to be. I didn't know if Jennifer would change. I didn't know if she'd ever become the daughter I needed her to be. But I knew one thing. I was done letting her define my happiness. I was done waiting for her to call. I was done being her backup plan. From now on, I was my own priority. I was going to live my life on my terms. And if she wanted to be part of it, she'd have to earn that spot. The sun came up all the way. The day was bright and warm. Let's go get breakfast, I said. She smiled. I'd like that. We drove to the diner. Ellen was there. She smiled when she saw me. She looked at Jennifer and nodded like she understood. Coffee? Ellen asked. 2 cups, I said. And 2 plates of eggs. We sat in the booth by the window. Jennifer was quiet. But she was smiling. A small smile. A real smile. I'm going to be better, Dad, she said. I know you will. You just have to keep choosing it. Every day. I will. And for the first time, I believed her. Not because of what she said. But because of what she didn't say. She didn't ask for anything. She didn't make any promises she couldn't keep. She just sat there and drank her coffee and looked at me like she was finally seeing me for who I was. That was enough. For now that we drove back to the single wide. I pulled into the driveway and turned off the engine. Jennifer got out and walked to the door. She turned and looked back at me. Dad, I love you. I love you too, Jen. And I meant it.